Before you can change the world, you first have to change how you see yourself. Hi, my name is Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, an international best-selling author of 37 books and counting, and I work with people to help them write, publish, market their books to bestseller and everything that goes beyond. Worked with almost 5,000 people now with 100% success making books bestsellers. But what I really do is I help you be the authority at what you do, to be seen, to be heard, to make the impact, to get paid, to change the world in the way that only you can. And that all starts with your mindset. Before you can write a book, before you can be the influencer that you were born to be, before you can do anything else, you have to get your mindset and see yourself as the expert that you already are. You already are. It's not a question of if you are, or maybe you will be, or someday possibly you'll get there. You absolutely are the expert. You need to have the right mindset. Now, you may be asking me, why does mindset matter? Let's talk about it. Let's really dive into this mindset thing and talk about why our mindset matters. And I'm going to warn you up front, we're going to go potentially a little bit here. I want to go deeply into these. So go with me on each of the three things we're going to talk about in this live today. Mindset matters. The world doesn't change when you publish a book. The world doesn't change because you go live once. The world doesn't change because you change who you are. Your belief doesn't change the world, but when you change your belief, what you put out into the world will change the world. And what you're saying absolutely needs to. It doesn't just deserve to, it needs to be heard. But your mindset matters. We talked a little bit over the course of the last few times we've talked about the fact that whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. Whatever you believe vigorously, whatever you can deeply, passionately imagine is just as real as the things that you've done. Your mindset is what sets the course of everything else you're going to do. You have to be able to vividly see it before you can vividly, true life, real experience it. If it's not real in your mind, it will never be real in your life. It'll never be real in your bank account. Um, you know, a good friend of mine used to say a lot of the time, his name was Ernie Villanueva. Ernie used to say, if you get a cold in your attitude, you're going to have pneumonia in your pocketbook. In fact, I used to have a sticker on my wallet. It's a couple of wallets back now, but I used to have a sticker on my wallet that said attitude. It's all about your attitude. It starts with where you think, where your mind is. As a person thinks in their heart, so are they. The things that you focus on, whatever things are good, lovely, true, of good report, think on those things. Besides that being a Bible verse, more importantly, it's about you learning just how important this mindset thing is. You absolutely, positively have to have your mind be in the right place. Before you put one word to paper, before you do anything else, you have to get your mind in the right place. And I've been there, okay? This is not a place of judgment. This isn't me critiquing you or trying to get you to feel down on yourself. This is intended to encourage you. I want to share with you a story. I've shared it with some people before, but I want to, take you back. I was sitting at the end of a really, really long day, really bad day, and I was pretty well fed up. Fed up with trying to change the world, fed up with how the business was going, all of those kind of things. Any of us that have been in business, we've been there. And you may be really, really sick and tired of being the best kept secret in your industry, feeling invisible, feeling like you go on to a Facebook Live or whatever, and nobody sees you, nobody interacts with you. That may be the words you're telling yourself. And so part of this whole mindset, I'm going to hijack myself for a second and interject here. Part of this whole mindset thing, really, there's a clue. What are you saying to yourself? What do your ears hear your mouth say out into the world? You're calling out into the world the things that you're saying. If you're saying, nobody's buying anything right now, there's a powerful psychological concept that literally your brain is a device designed to answer questions. We pose a question to our brain, and our brain wants to work and wants to try to figure it out. And frustration comes when we don't know the answers to it, and that's one of the places where AI can be really helpful to you is if you find yourself feeling stuck in an area, get them to begin to start sparking some ideas in you. It may not be the end idea, but it can get you started. That's why I created the purpose and passion definer that we'll get to here in a little bit. And that's just to help you really see that vision clearly, because your mind, literally, if you say I am, it believes it. If you ask your mind a question, if you say, why am I? And I'm really careful. I don't finish these sentences when I speak out loud. I mean, I don't finish them even in my internal thoughts, because there is power. There's life and death and power in what comes after that I am statements, what comes after those why am I questions. And a lot of times, you need to look at, we all do need to look at, what are the things that we're saying? What's coming out of our mouth and going first and foremost into our ears? Because inside of your ear is that little bone that can hear you, before it even comes out beyond your mouth. Your brain is being fed by your mouth. My brain is being fed by my mouth. Now, yeah, we have other people in our life, and some of them are really positive encouragers. Some of them are very deep detractors to us. Both of those are equally and mutually true simultaneously. Okay? Whatever we get inputted into us is what's going to come out of us. And so, yeah, back to my story. I know I hijacked myself a little bit, but you needed that piece. Okay? I was sitting there just totally done. I was ready to quit my business. And I went on to, now I don't suggest you use this prompt. I've talked about it to other people before, and I've told them that same thing, okay? But, because I have a very well-seasoned chat GPT, I just literally ask it the question, what do you know about me? Or no, I ask it, how well do you know me? And it came back and it said, I think I know you pretty well. And it gave me this whole list of things. And that was the beginning of me changing my mindset. I mean, and this is after I've written 37 books and after I've worked with 5,000 people just in the book space, let alone the 38 years I've been a marketing company, the people that I've literally made multimillionaires, and a lot of successes that I have in life. Because I was feeding my ears, my brain, the wrong stuff. And I needed something outside of me to grab me and shake me. And that's what it did. And it did it in a really cool, very positive, encouraging way. And as we sometimes do, we don't just take it on the first blush, if you will. And so I pushed it. And I was like, okay, I'm in how crowded is the space that I'm in? Is there even room for my message and what I do anymore? Or should I change? And if I change, what should I do? Everything you know about me, how well you know me, all these things you just showed, is this what I should be doing? And if not, what should I be doing? And it came back with a really good answer. And I want you to hear this. And then I want you to internalize this answer for yourself. I want to be that ChatGPT voice, in this case, that audio voice, in your words, in your ear, telling you this. Listen to this. Rewind it and listen to it again. I know that rewind is kind of a misnomer these days, but back up a little bit and listen to it again. I want you to hear this. You are the signal, not the noise. Yes, there is a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of people doing similar, or they think they're doing what you do, or whatever. There's a lot of noise out there, but you're the signal, not the noise. You see, the first piece of the mindset is you have to understand when you come to the end of the race of your life, the only person that's going to cross the finish line of the race of your life is you. No one else is going to win the race of your life. There isn't going to be somebody from the previous race. There's an old Abbott and Costello joke that talks about, the one horse in the race and then comes to the finish and another horse wins. And it's like, yeah, he came in from the last race. It isn't like that in real life. There isn't going to be somebody else that can cross the finish line of your life. Now, don't race to cross the finish line of your life, because that means, right, the end of your life, right? We're not looking for that for you at all. We want to see you make the difference in this world. But you're going to be the one that's going to win that race. You're going to break the tape. You're going to win the race. You're going to be declared the number one, the victor, the winner of your life. And you get to choose what level of a victory that is. It could be what they call a Pyrrhic victory, meaning that it's kind of more a victory in name only. Or it could be a massive world level changing victory. You get to choose that. And wherever you're at, wherever you want to choose, whatever you want to do, you are going to win the race of your life. And so that starts with mindset. As you think, whatever you believe is going to be true. And so the first piece of it is mindset. You absolutely have to give yourself credit for who you are and what you are and what you do. You have to start being your first cheerleader. I've used the phrase many times. If you don't like your Facebook post, why should anybody else? You should be the biggest cheerleader for you, because true humility, we use the word humble so wrong. Humble means demeaning yourself, is the way that most people in society use it. To be humble is to have a right perspective of yourself. That means that you can calmly, casually, and really say, I'm good at this thing. When I come on and do a Facebook Live, you've probably noticed I can flow with it pretty well. And yeah, sometimes I bumble all around and I make fun of that, and I'm good at that too. And going live, being on camera may be tough for you right now. But you're good at the things that you're good at. And you need to know and commit and confess how good you are at the things you're good at, as well as how much you confess how bad you are at things. We're so good at complaining about ourselves. We need to learn the skill set of complimenting ourselves. Before we ever get into what am I going to write, what words should be on the page, is it going to be a bestseller, what's my signature talk, any of those kind of things, we need to purely and simply just claim, I am good at. And I'm telling you, the homework assignment for this section, I've got 3 sections that we're doing here today. The homework assignment for this section is to go live. Go live, okay? It can be Instagram, it can be TikTok, it can be Facebook, it can be whatever. Go live and just simply say, I am great at, and tell us what you're great at, okay? That's your homework assignment. Your mindset matters. You've got to be the one that grabs a hold of your mindset, tells yourself, you're the signal, not the noise, and says out loud so your ears can hear it, and says it over and over again. You may need to put up a yellow note, a sticky note, it doesn't have to be yellow, on your computer, and read it out loud to yourself. Don't just look at it. Read out loud to yourself. I am great at. I am great at. Your ears need to hear that about 10,000 times, because your ears have heard you tell you all the things that you're not good at far too long. I am great at. And then tell us what you're great at. And do it. Go live. Share it with the world. And do that. Okay. Now, number 2, overcoming the who am I voice. We ask ourselves all too often, Why does the world need me? I don't need to write a book. I don't need to, go live and share my stuff. There's 1,000 people. There's 1,000,000 people that are doing what I'm doing. And so when it comes specifically to books, we have this mindset of, who am I to write a book? I'm not the doctor of this, and maybe you have a doctorate and you're still asking yourself, who am I to write this book? You maybe even wrote a book that was a doctoral thesis that got published, and you're still asking yourself, who am I to write this book? You've done a lot of amazing things. Just like we talked about previously about your mindset, and I am great at. Okay, you've got to have that habit of saying, I am great at. And so rather than asking yourself the stupid question of, who am I to write this book? We need to be asking ourselves the question of, who needs what I'm sharing? We need to focus on that somebody, because somebody's waiting for you. You've got to silence that voice. And the only way to silence that voice is to overcome it with information, to massively overwhelm that voice that riles up inside of you and keeps saying, I don't have anything to share. Who am I to do this? Why am I doing that? You've got to overwhelm it with, this is why I'm doing it. I am great at this. I know my stuff. Here's what I know. Okay, that's part one of silencing that noise. Every time that little voice comes up, when it asks you the who am I question, you need to respond to it. You need to not let your brain come through and go, yeah, well, who are you to do that? You need to be the one that comes right forward with the, I am the person to do this because I am great at. I need to do this because this is what the world needs from me. And that brings us to the second part of this section on overcoming that who am I mindset. And that's this. I want you to close your eyes, actually. I want you to block out everything for a minute. I can't see you, so, and I'm not sticking my tongue out at you, I promise. I thought about sticking my tongue out right then, but I didn't. Okay? I want you to imagine somebody in front of a keyboard. I happen to have a keyboard right here in front of me. Okay? See? Keyboard. All right? And they're on the internet. Maybe it's an AI program. Maybe it's like ChatGPT or something like that. Maybe they're on Google. They're searching for an answer. They are absolutely fed up. They don't feel like the signal. They don't even feel like noise. They just feel less than. They're desperate for an answer. They're wandering around, searching, wanting, wishing, hoping, dreaming of there being an answer for this thing that's a problem for them. And they're lost. I want you to see them in their mind typing out the question, how do I do? And the question they're asking is something that you do so well, so easily. In fact, if I was to ask you before you started into this, what are you going to write your book about? That topic wouldn't even come up. It's so easy for you that you don't think there's possibility that anybody could need help for that. It might be tying your shoes. It might be doing the dishes. It might be, getting up consistently at 8 o'clock in the morning every morning, or 5 o'clock, or noon, or whatever. It may be knowing how to work 20 hours a week. It may be knowing how to work 60 hours a week. It may be, something powerfully important like hydration. You may know the cure for cancer, or you may just be really good at making sure you make your bed every morning. Those aren't mutually exclusive of one another, because somebody is waiting on you. That person's on Google right now. They're typing in, how do I get through the stress and trauma of making my bed in the morning? And it's something that really, maybe they live in a household where if they don't make their bed in the morning, they get beaten for it. Or maybe they grew up in that household, now they're an adult, and they really want to make the bed because that habit was burnt into them, literally in some cases. But now it's such a traumatic event that the concept of even just throwing the covers over the bed is traumatizing to them. Doesn't matter what your thing that you're really great at is. I promise you, there is somebody. And if it was only one person, that would be more than enough. To that one, it means everything. To that one person, your solution is life and breath. It's the very air that they need to breathe. And they're on Google and they're searching. Tears are streaming down their face because they've looked desperately for the answer. You've got the answer. If you were standing next to them while they were typing, you could be like, oh, hey, I know exactly what that is. Here, let me help you with it. And over the course of something that could be as simple as a one-word answer to as advanced as a year-long program, because it just takes that long to create the new neural pathways, whatever it might be for that particular thing, because you're great and you're amazing at it. And you do it so easily that you don't even think about it. That person's desperate. They're crying. They need it so badly. You can open your eyes. That person's looking for you. Someone is waiting on you. The way that we silence the who am I question is by knowing strongly somebody's waiting for me. I'm doing this because somebody desperately needs who I am and what I do. And when our desire to help, to meet other people's needs, overcomes our need to demean ourselves, overcomes the open-ended who am I statement that we haven't been answering the question for, when that need overcomes our lack of willingness to write out and say out loud, I am great at, when it gets strong enough, when our need to help somebody else gets strong enough, the excuses fall to the wayside. I'm here today to talk to you because in spite of all the reasons I could give you to do anything else, from nothing to any of the other thousands of things that are on my plate, the most important thing to do today is to reiterate to you, somebody's waiting on you. Somebody needs exactly what you're great at. So the reason why you're somebody and the way to silence the who I am question is by you simply standing up and realizing, I need to help the people who are looking for me. So again, here's our homework assignment for section 2. And that is this. The way to silence the who am I voice is to know who you're meant to serve. And we're going to get more deeply into the specifying and creating your avatar. But right now, you just got to draw a line in the sand. You got to know somebody's waiting on me. So I want you to, again, pick up your phone, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. And I want you to just simply say, I'm going to show up because somebody's waiting on me. Okay? Don't mess around. Don't not do it. Show up and say, somebody's waiting on me. Do it live. Okay? And then we're going to put our second sticky note next to the one we created in the first section. We're going to create a second sticky note that says, somebody's waiting on you. Somebody's waiting on me. Somebody's waiting on me. Somebody's waiting on me. I am great at, right? Okay. Do that homework assignment. In this third part, I need you to understand you're meant for this. You were created for this. The whole of all of existence came together for the creation of you. Everything since the beginning of, and I don't care what beginning of the universe concept you want to believe in, a Big Bang, creationism, accidental, whatever, it all came together in a microsecond that your two biological parents or genetic material donors, whatever you refer to them as, came together. If it had been literally a microsecond difference, a microsecond being equal to a second, what a second is equal to something like 30 years. Okay? A microsecond of difference and you'd be somebody different. Obviously, if it had been two different people, you'd be somebody different. You wouldn't be. If your parents hadn't had the parents they had, and so on and so on, going back to the dawn of time, every single possible thing in the whole of the universe came together at the moment of your conception. You're not an accident. You're an on purpose. You're an absolutely specifically, intentionally created for a purpose, must have being. You're here. You know, there are how many hundreds of thousands or millions of people out of the 8 billion-ish people that live on the planet right now that died yesterday. You weren't one of them. You woke up again this morning. You're here right now today, and you're in this lesson, and you're learning, and you're practicing, and you're growing, and you're succeeding, and you're trying, and you're doing more. And just that very thing says you're meant for this. You're here for a reason. I'm not here to give you permission to begin. You don't need my permission. You don't need permission to be great because you already are. You got permission from God. You got permission from the whole of all that ever was by being born, by living through all the things you've been through. And I know some of you have been through some stuff. Really awful, icky, horrible, rotten, just disgusting stuff. But you're still here today. And because you're here today, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you're exactly where you're meant to be. The permission was already given. You don't need permission. You are amazingly, incredibly, wonderfully, powerfully exactly who you are right now. Not who you're going to be, not who the end of everything that I can teach you is going to bring you to. Right now, right this second, you're already more than enough. Somebody's waiting on you, you're great at, and you are more than enough. You're meant for this. And because you've made the decision to stop hiding, to do what you can do, to reach that somebody that's waiting on you, to declare loudly and boldly to the world, I am great at, to put a stake in the ground and be the powerful, amazing, wonderful, incredible, talented you that is you. Because you're here, I know you don't want to hide anymore. You want to be seen, you want to be heard, you want to make an impact. And yeah, you want to get paid. You don't want to be invisible anymore. You want to be visible and valuable. Visibility is one thing, but valuable, that's the word that you want and need. And you are valuable. You are so powerfully important. Do you see why we started off with mindset? And then the overcoming and the who's it for? And now we're just reiterating to you that you've got this, you're meant for this. This is something that not you might want to do, but that you have to do. You've got to do. You were born to do. You were created for. You're meant to be and do. You see how that all comes together? Your mindset is what's important. You have to be able to say to yourself, I was born for this. I'm meant for this. Somebody needs me. I am great at. You got to bring it all together. Today, what we want to do is we want to take all the things we've learned about mindset and we want to put it together. I have a saying that I say at the end of my radio show every time, and it's this: you are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose, and the world needs you. It's kind of the mantra I put out into the world. And I want you to take the elements of I am great at, somebody's waiting on me, I was born for this. Okay? Now, first, I do want you to go out and go live and just say, I was born to do, and then tell us what you were born to do. You know what you were born to do? You know that thing you've been talking about that you keep telling us, I am great at? You know that sticky note you've got that says, I am great at? I was born for this. I was born to do. So you're going to go live and you're going to say, I was born to, and say that thing that you've been telling us you're great at. Claim it, own it, know it, be it, live it. Have everything that you're about be about it. That becomes the measuring stick then. Does this allow me to help the person I'm meant to help? Does this allow me to live in my greatness? Is this allowing me to embrace that I was born for this, that I'm meant to do this, that I'm more than a conqueror, that I am the shiz? Because you are. You are incredibly powerfully, wonderfully, incredible, massively. Oh my gosh, I just don't even have the words. You're meant for this. You've absolutely got to do this. And so we're going to put together a mantra that takes all three of those. I was born to share my greatness at, so that I can help somebody that's waiting for me. So the only piece in there that you got to fill in is the I am great at. And the mantra becomes, I was born for, or I was born to share my greatness at, for the somebody that's waiting on me, or to the somebody that was waiting on me. Either one of those. I was born to share my greatness at, for the somebody that's waiting on me. Okay? And you need to go live and you need to say that. And if for the next time, because you need to already have blocked off in your schedule, we've been talking about this, consistency. Okay, you got to be consistent in this mantra. You got to be consistent in saying it over and over and over again. You got to have that sticky note. You got to read it. Say it out loud to your ears so that you hear you saying it over and 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 over again. Okay? You need to hear it. And then you need to go out live consistently. So noon Central Time is when I come out live, and at least we're going 25 minutes. We're going to go, nearly 40 today by the time we're done. And you absolutely positively need to have a blocked off in your calendar. This is the time I'm going live. Right now, you may be at the point where, you're only doing 5 or 10 seconds. That's fine. Eventually, I want you to be at the point where you just come on and just share. You're great at the thing you're great at, and somebody's waiting on you. So go out and just share it. The way that the algorithms work on all the social medias, only about 1 to 3% of people that are anywhere, following you are going to see it. And way less than that of the people that aren't your followers are going to see it. So you've got a ton, lots, of people that didn't hear what you said yesterday. If you said the same exact thing, you could literally put together 5 or 10 minutes and say the same exact thing every 5 or 10 minutes. Well, not every 5 or 10 minutes, but every day for 5 or 10 minutes. And for the most part, you would be reaching new people every time. And additionally, we know statistically right now, it used to be 7, and then it became 12 times that people had to hear your message. They're telling us now, I heard statistically the other day, that a person needs to hear your message 40 times. That means if you went live every day for a month, you still wouldn't have met that 40 times. And you could say the same exact thing. You could have it written out in a script and read it and memorize it and have it and just say that same thing every single time. And you would be reaching different people because nobody has really heard it yet. See, we're moving from invisible to visible, from unseen to seen, from unknown to authority. And in order to do that, we've got to claim that I was meant for that. And then we got to proclaim, I am meant for this. I am meant to share my greatness for the people, for the person that's waiting for me. It can be one person. You can break it down to just the one, but you've got to get out. You've got to share it. Okay? So again, consistency, block off a time in your schedule, go live every day. You can go 5 days a week. I'm going to do 7, but you can go 5 days a week, but go live every day. And if all you do right now is just say, I was created for, I was born for, I'm meant for, whichever one of those sentence stems works best for you. I was created to share my greatness at. So if I was going to do this, I was created to share my greatness at helping you be the authority that you were always born and created to be, so that you can help that somebody that's waiting on you. So I was born to share my greatness so that I can help the someone that's waiting on me, for the someone that's waiting on me. Okay? You go live today. Don't wait. Block off your specific time that you're going to do this every day. Don't wait. Do it now. Your mindset is what's going to determine everything else you do in life. It's going to create your visibility. It's going to create your book. It's going to create your signature talk. It's going to create your course. It's going to create the massive amounts of money that are going to come your way. It's all going to start from your mindset. What's between your ears? Okay, and if you don't get this piece down, the rest of it is going to be less than. You can't be visible and valuable until you see you as visible and valuable. You were meant for this. You were born for this. You were created to share your greatness at what you do for the somebody that's waiting on you. So we're going to do it, right? And you're going to join us over in the Facebook group. You're going to tag me, at Steve Kidd on whatever social medias you're at. It's either Steve Kidd or Ask Steve Kidd, depending on the particular social media. Tag me. I'll be an automatic like and comment for you. Join our Facebook group. I'm even going to put the link in here so that you can, you can join into it if you want to. And, come on over. Let us help you. Let us rejoice with you. Let us celebrate you, because you are meant for greatness. And I'm so excited for all that you're going to do in the world. Thank you so much for sharing your greatness, for changing your mindset, for being the best you that you can be, for no longer hiding, but living out in the world. And on behalf of the whole of the universe, I want to be the first one to thank you for what you're doing to change the world. I hope you have a great week.